Hello and welcome to Canvas 2D game tutorial for Android. Today we will talk about lesson 2, game loop on surface view. Hope you finished successfully lesson 1, and in this lesson 2 we are going to present the game loop concept with introduction to basic animations techniques. In this project we will have the following three files: GameView Java extended from the surface view class, GameThread Java extended from the thread class, and finally we have a main activity Java, just default main activity that connected to GameView. So let's get started. I will start with basic Hello World application for lesson 2, as you see in this case. So I will modify main activity. So first of all, I'm not going to use activity main XML, right? So first of all I will delete this activity main XML file. So right click, delete. You can use save delete if you want, delete anyway. And then you need to change layout to the game view. So we need to use object of our new view class, and let's name it game view, and pass in this as a current context for the parameter for this constructor. So in this case we have to create a game view in a moment. And one more thing, I would like to request window without title, because I will create a game and I don't need actually the title for the application. So for this case I'm using request Windows feature, then as parameter will be window dot feature no title. So we're done with the main activity, and right now we're going to create the game view class. So we did it before in the lesson 1. I do the same steps right now. New Java class. So the class name is game view, and superclass will be surface view class. So make sure that create surface view class from Android view. So in this case we have to click create constructor matching super, and we will create constructor using one parameter context, and press OK. So we'll start prepare class variable for the game view. So the first class variable will be the actual bitmap that will be displaying. It will be a private bitmap variable, and we use name BMP. It will be a private surface holder. So we presented surface holder in the lesson 1. And basically we will move right now to the constructor to work with the surface folder. So after calling super context, we will be using the following statement: holder get holder for the current context. And for holder, as we did in previous video, we have to add callback method based on the constructor for surface holder dot callback, and make sure that select callback the first one. We receive this bulb, and that bulb will help us to add implement method. You don't need to type them. 3 methods will be added. Press OK. Also I would like to initialize bitmap variable, because this will be what we will be displaying in our game view, right? So I have to initialize BMP variable. So I'll be using the same what I did in lesson 1, bitmap factory dot decode resource, and argument get resources, comma art.neatmap.iclauncher. So I'm not using right now very nice picture, but just for simplicity using a resource that I have in my bitmap folder in my application icon. So I need to declare one more method to draw in onto the screen. As we did it in previous video, it was a protected void on draw method. It's actually the classic method for the canvas games. So we will be using the canvas with parameters. By using canvas, we will change the color of the background dot blue, and finally we will draw the bitmap. Source file, X position, Y position, and null argument. I would like to add the override signature to the method to make sure that I did not make any typo in the onDraw method. You see that all method that override has this override signature. That's also important for me to make sure that I'm doing design in correct way. I would like to remind you that we are going to create today game thread Java extended from thread. So this class will be created very soon. So right now I want to connect this future class to the game view by using private game thread variable. Let's name it game thread. So again, this class will be created very soon. So what we need to do, we need to initialize the object in the constructor. So what we will do, we will use game thread is new game thread using current context. So let's create a game thread right now. Choose new class, as usually right click, new Java class, superclass thread from Java Lang, and press OK. So in this class we will be actually controlling how to execute the game loop in a separate thread. So in one thread we will be calling the updates and drawing, and back to the main thread from the main activity we will be handle the basic events like we used to do normally in Android Studio. So the code in the game thread will be pretty much containing run method. So but before run we will start with declare a private game view variable, private game view. We'll create a flag, a private boolean running flag, and basically at the very beginning the flag is false, means like the game loop is not running yet. And in public constructor, game thread constructor, so we will use game view as a parameter, and basically this is how we initialize the current view with the current thread by using this dot view assigned to view variable from the parameter. So this is how the game thread actually connected to the game view using basically constructor. And we need a method to control this running variable. So that will be just simply public void set running. That variable will be working with the boolean parameter, and what we will do, just basically we do the very simple stuff. We will assign running to run. The last method for this class, for the game thread, is the most important method run. So I will paste this code right now. So this is pretty much what we need to implement when we're talking about calling onDraw in the separate thread. So the method run will be called when the thread is active. So while running is true, we create a canvas variable, the local variable in this while loop. Then we get holder for the current activity, like game view activity, and log the canvas so that nobody can use it. This canvas just except us. And then in synchronize method get holder, we will call onDraw method from the game view activity. So finally, when drawing will be finished, if C is not null, which is not the case, when we draw in the C is not null, we need to unlock the canvas and actually complete the thread. No worries about this squiggly red line under the onDraw method. This is kind of like a suspicious method call, should probably call draw rather than onDraw. We will talk about this the variant of the lecture. So we completely finished with GameThread and moving back to GameView Java. GameView Java is the file when we finished recently with describing GameThread object. Right now this object will be used to start surface created. So the surface created will be a method that we have to modify right now. So we want to start the thread right now in this method. So we will using the variable of the thread, which is GameThread. And we need to set running to true, because this is actually the condition when the game loop will start running. And finally we need to start the thread. So the start the thread will causing method thread to run. So the method thread that we just displayed here, the run will be actually runnable when we start the thread. So when view is created, thread flag will be turned into true and thread starts to run. And finally, when surface destroyed, we want to complete this thread. I will copy and paste the code. So what we're doing in this method, surface destroyed, just want to delete blanks. So surface destroyed method have a local boolean variable retry, which is true. Then GameThread method set running turn running variable flag to false, and you have a kind of like loop while retry is true. We're trying to stop the thread. So GameThread join is the method that actually waits for this thread to die. So this method will be maybe wait for the thousands of milliseconds, and when the thread is died, retry variable will be turned to false, and while loop will be completed and thread will be destroyed. So this basically what's happening in surface destroy method. When surface is destroyed, the thread will stop. This is the most important things we have to make sure in this method. Let's run the project. And hopefully, if you don't have mistake, you will see the icon from the MeepMap folder. Yeah, that's very good result. So you maybe ask me what's the difference between lesson 1 and lesson 2 and where is animation. That's what I'm going to do right now. Animation will be very simple in our first case. So we will add variable that responsible for x coordinates, and we will write private int x, and initially x coordinates is 0. And right now we're going to make this coordinate dynamic. So we go into the onDraw method and we're going to increment this variable every time when onDraw is called, and instead of 10 we will be using x variable. Alright, so let's try to run project right now, and hope to see dynamics in this case. So project started at again, and you see how our icon is moving right now. So basically we achieved the first animation techniques in this case. I would like to mention one more thing here. Remember we talked about suspicious method call, should probably call draw rather than on draw. I would recommend you to go here and disable inspection. So in this case, when you disable inspection, you will be just get rid of this red squiggly line. Okay, so run project again, and this time we may use a little bit faster moving. Instead of x++, you'll make x plus 5 and see what's happened. Alright, and you see the image right now is moving much faster because we changed the variable x plus 5. So please refer to the individual work, add some extra functionality to the application, add speed variable to make animation different, and change y variable. When borders are reached, the icon goes back and forward indefinitely with the north and south borders as well. Add more images, at least 2 in total, into the screen with the similar activity, so you will be able to see more dynamic images on the screen in the same time. So we're done with this video. Thanks a lot.